folks. There we go. Welcome to the Shortfall Show Live. My name is Dave. It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have some sort of craziness going on. I have to welcome you here on a day when the market is closed. And as you can see in the title today, I did want to talk for a second about the way a professional manages risk compared with retail or maybe you. And I got this idea because I was looking at a question in the Facebook group today, and somebody had asked that basically it was a situation that we find often. Somebody was long VXX and had been riding it down and had lost a significant amount of money being long VXX, and they said, you know, somebody help me, give me some advice. And I thought to myself, back to working as a professional. And one of the main differences between a retail trader and a professional trader is, well, let's just talk about a professional trader just for a second here. The biggest difference between a professional trader and a retail trader is a professional trader is trading somebody else's money. Now, in the case of the firm I worked for, it was a pool of 5 partners' money, essentially, and that I was responsible for. And so for me, it allowed me access to a bigger amount of capital to trade with than I could have brought to the table myself. And for these people, it allows them to take risk. They can take a risk and bet on me that I will be able to turn their money into more money. And, you know, from their point of view, it's a pretty risky trade. A lot of people who they back will not make it at all, and they'll lose their investment. However, in many cases, the initial investment isn't very big. But when you are trading somebody else's money, they tend to want to keep an eye on you. And so most professionals have some sort of risk manager. And what that is it's the people whose money that you have been trusted with are keeping an eye on you to some extent. Now, it varies from professional to professional how much of an eye they're keeping on you, but most professional traders have a risk manager who oversees them to some extent. And those people, in turn, the risk managers, have somebody overseeing them, which is usually like a representative from the clearing firm or a bank who is ultimately responsible for the trades. And thus, you never find yourself as a professional trader not having someone to turn around to or somebody to answer to when you're losing money when you get in trouble. And my risk manager for the longest time was a guy who we can refer to as Uncle Bill. And Uncle Bill was very proud of the fact that he could walk us in off the ledge, as he called it, which was to jump in there when we needed a helping hand the most. And, you know, situations happen in trading. It's part of the business. And the particular kind of trading that I was doing as a professional, we were very much encouraged to take a lot of risk, and thus these situations occurred. So it's kind of like that show Kung Fu. I don't know, this is going to date me, but there's a show Kung Fu in the 70s, and the star of the show would think back to his Shaolin training at the monastery. Well, for me, now trading, I can hear Uncle Bill's voice in my head saying stuff in my ear, telling me advice, and it was similar advice. And the interesting thing about risk managers was in our company, there were several different risk managers, and you could kind of go to which risk manager you wanted to depending on the position you wanted to put it on. Some people liked to own options. Some people like to sell stuff. Some wanted you to take more risk. Others were more conservative. Some were a pushover. Others were not so much. But for most of the time, I was assigned a specific risk manager, and he would indeed walk me in off the ledge. And so I just wanted to give you the advice that he would have given me as to this trade that I saw today, which was basically, like I said, you're losing money, you have a trade on, it's not working, it's going against you. What he would say is, do something. Now, I would think the prudent thing to do if you're losing money consistently on a trade would be to cover half that trade. Now, he wouldn't force you, he wouldn't tell you you have to do this or you have to do that most of the time, but he would say, by the end of the day today, do something. Because sometimes traders get into this kind of deer in the headlights thing where they just kind of freeze up and they're not being proactive. They're just frozen, and that's not a spot you want to be in. So, so he would say, do something. And so this is one of the major differences between professional traders and retail, is that we always have both a risk manager and also usually other people around us, a network of people around us to bounce ideas off of, to form as barometers. For example, you might have 10 traders that you talk to on a regular basis, and 2 or 3 of them start getting bearish on the market, just as an example. And you know that this one guy, every time he makes a call, he's wrong. So when he gets bearish, you want to buy stuff. Anyways, you start to find these really hilarious trends when you follow and when you have several people that you're sounding off of at a time. But as a retail trader, you yourself can establish a network of people as well. And you can, and I would encourage you to seek out mentors, seek out people who you trust, who you admire as traders, and run stuff past them. Ask for advice. Ask for counsel, because a lot of people would be glad to help you out and spend a couple minutes with you, helping you out with stuff. I have some people that I mentor right now that have kind of just sort of fallen in my lap from this channel and stuff. But you're not alone out there. Use the Facebook group of ours. There's a lot of smart traders in there to help you out. I don't necessarily, it's really hard. YouTube's really hard because, the great thing about YouTube is anybody can come up and come online and create content. The bad thing about YouTube is anybody can come up online and create content. And, there might be somebody out there who can make a really great video and make it look really nice, or, has read a book on charts and is a really cool guy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be able to help you out trading. A. B. But the other point I want to make, though, is that this comes down to you in the end. And yes, you can seek counsel from people, but in the end, it's going to have to come from you inside, your ideas, your originality, really, and your unique insight. And that's going to come with time, practice, trial and error, and getting to know yourself over time. They say that 50% of learning to trade has to happen once you're actually putting your own money at risk. And I really believe that to be true. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit brief amount of market commentary now and then end the video because I don't want this to go too long. It's already gone 14 minutes. So we are coming into expiration. Expiration on the VIX is Wednesday morning. And we are in a situation where if this market continues to rally, we should see these products continue to move lower. People online have been saying, well, it always seems to happen that something happens around expiration and stuff pops. But I think statistically speaking, it's just as likely that nothing happens on expiration day as any other day because remember once again that the VIX products are driven by the SPX, and just because it's VIX expiration day doesn't mean that like the rest of the world knows that or cares or is going to trade based on that. Most people trading the SPX are focused on other things than VIX expiration, and I bet most people that are trading the SPX have no idea that Wednesday morning is VIX expiration. So keep that in mind. We see continuing videos coming out saying the market's at its top, you're crazy to buy it, this and that. But picking tops has been brutal on people for several times. So I would caution you about picking tops. we are on a Monday night. We would call it a synthetic Sunday because we did have the holiday today. And as I make this video, E-minis are down 12, and VIX futures are consequentially up from us, up 17 cents. Second month up 19 cents. However, we know that the chart is still in massive contango. We'll pull it up just really briefly here to take a look at it. And then I will look at your comments here and respond to them real quick before we end here. So remember, when you look at the VIX Central chart when the markets are closed, the futures prices are going to be accurate, but the spot price is not updating right now. So the spot price is not accurate. In fact, if we were trading now, the spot price would be significantly higher right now. And the reason I get that is because the futures are higher. So futures don't always follow the spot price, but in this situation where E-mini's down 13 and futures are higher, spot would also be higher right now. Is this guy even a pro? Hi, Kenyon Scales. Yes, I worked as a SIBO market maker for many years. I was a professional market maker at the CBOE in Chicago, working for Group 1 Trading out of San Francisco. And beyond that, I worked on my own trading 30-year bond options at the CBOT. And I made millions of dollars during that period. If you go back looking through my videos, you can see in writing my performance over that period. In the last couple years, I've just come back to trading, and I don't have significant gains to speak of in the last 2 years. As I said, I was off from trading for quite some time. But I have made several $1 million lifetime as a trader, and options theory doesn't really change. Yes, you know, the market has changed in certain ways, but standing in the pit and watching, I stood for over 10 years and just watched stuff trade all day and traded stuff and was a successful market maker. So I do have a successful background, and I believe I do have something to bring to the table. So, but I appreciate you being skeptical, and I want you to be skeptical. That's the whole point of this, is think for yourself, take what you can from the other people you see around you, question stuff. I love it. Question my credentials, go back and look at them. I'm not asking that you follow my strategies in any way. The whole point of my channel, just to introduce you to it, is to just show you one trader's execution, what he's thinking about, and this kind of thing. I discourage you from following my actual trades because I want you to think for yourself and come up with your own ideas. Yeah, so there you have it. As I said, coming into expiration. We have tomorrow, and then expiration is Wednesday morning in the VIX futures. Massive contango as we came in. With the second month, not so much. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I appreciate everybody watching me. And UVI moving up with SPY was confusing. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly which part you're talking about, Sufi guy, but I appreciate your support and everybody else's. Hey, look, guys, good luck tomorrow on the Open. Shorter week this week, but I hope you guys do well. You know, we're in a new year, so hopefully you guys aren't too far in the hole yet, or hopefully you made a ton of money so far this year, but it's a new year, and I hope you guys all make money. Best of luck to you. Talk to you soon. Bye now.